Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and we did your homework for Marvel's Wonder Man. Everything you need to know going into this series, which is dropping all 8 of its episodes on January 27th. What is this show? Who is Wonder Man Simon Williams in the comics? What are his powers? Why is Ben Kingsley's Trevor Slattery part of this? And how important is Wonder Man to the full Marvel Cinematic Universe in this year of our doom and savior? Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige himself has even referred to this kind of catching up as homework. And while New Rockstars has in the past done recaps or primers or primers if you're a snob, we have decided to try calling this format We Did Your Homework to just put you at ease knowing that some nerds on YouTube did all of your pre-watch research for you and put it all in the form of a video cheat sheet. Now, when these episodes of Wonder Man drop, Jessica Clemons' explanation of the full season and the ending is coming the night of Tuesday, January 27th to the New Rockstars channel, and then the next day you can watch Jessica's in-depth Easter egg breakdown of all 8 episodes. Okay, what is Wonder Man, the show? Wonder Man is an 8-episode miniseries starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as Simon Williams, an aspiring actor who auditions for the lead role in the remake of an in-universe Wonder Man film and secretly possesses superpowers, including superhuman strength and speed, as well as the ability to create massive explosions, and maybe some other powers we'll see on the show. Zlatko Buric, who we saw in Superman last summer, plays eccentric filmmaker Von Kovac, who is remaking the campy, low-budget sci-fi film Wonder Man with a big, ambitious experimental production. Simon, who grew up loving the original version of Wonder Man, considers himself born to play this part, but trailer footage has indicated that now in the MCU, it is illegal for people with superpowers to work in Hollywood.
I'm gonna need you to sign this to confirm you don't have superpowers.
Yeah.
Connected to this, Arian Moayed will return to the MCU in this series as DODC agent Cleary. We saw him in Spider-Man No Way Home and the Ms. Marvel series. In No Way Home, he investigated Peter Parker after Mysterio outed Peter as Spider-Man and would have ruined Peter's life had Matt Murdock not stepped in for Peter's legal defense. In Ms. Marvel, Agent Cleary joined Agent Sadie Deaver in their investigation of enhanced individuals in Jersey City, referring to the clandestines from the Nord Dimension and Kamala Khan, who inherited her great-grandmother's powers via the quantum band. Agent Deaver goes rogue with how brutal she goes against these kids, and Agent Cleary relieves her from duty. Now in this series, Agent Cleary has his eye on Simon Williams.
This is Simon Williams. I think he's superpowered and incredibly dangerous. I just need some proof.
So, could the MCU be setting up the DODC to be the government agency hunting down mutants? And the mutant saga coming after all of this? Like, why are everyday folks with superpowers now suddenly being discriminated against from just a line of work in the MCU? Sure, I guess you could say Hollywood productions are just doing this as a safety protocol, especially for roles that require physical stunt work, but I get the feeling something more could be going on here. Sir Ben Kingsley co-stars in the series as Trevor Slattery, who first appeared in the MCU way back in Iron Man 3 as the English actor hired to be the Mandarin, the fake Mandarin, by Aldrich Killian to scare and confuse the public with a boogeyman persona. That history will come up in this series.
Where have I seen him before?
Pretty sure he used to be a terrorist.
Tony Stark ultimately exposed this scheme and ended up fighting Killian and his extremist-powered regenerative fiery body with the help of the House Party protocol of all of his Iron Man suits and an extremist-infected Pepper Potts. We saw Trevor again in the Marvel one-shot short film All Hail the King, where he was in Seagate Prison along with Justin Hammer, and he gets extracted by an operative of the Ten Rings. From there, Trevor returned in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings as a kind of court jester in the compound of the true Mandarin Wenwu in China, along with his friend Morris, a Chinese mythological faceless creature called a Hundun. Trevor and Morris join Shang-Chi and Katie to the dimension of Ta Lo and are present for the battle with the Dweller in Darkness, and Trevor survives that battle and chooses to stay within Ta Lo to be with Morris. But in this series, Trevor is back being a working actor alongside Simon in Hollywood, California.
I'm sorry, aren't you,
Oh, yes. I played the Mandarin, but that was over bloody 10 years ago, and I was just a puppet. And whatever theories you've seen on Reddit are totally false. I had nothing to do with Pizzagate. I'm not a member of the Illuminati, and I did not have my hands replaced with baby hands.
This series is also going to star real-world celebrities playing themselves working in the industry. Mario Lopez, Josh Gad, Joe Pantoliano, they were all confirmed before the series premiered, but there may be other cameos. They shot the series on the CBS Radford lot in Studio City in the LA area, and many establishing shots and trailers show Stage 9 on that lot, directly from the point of view of the production office I used to work out of 15 years ago in my very first job in this industry. So it's crazy to see that view on this series, along with shots of that soundstage exploding, and it's a little sad and nostalgic considering this lot has faced foreclosure in recent weeks. And Stage 9 was a historic stage. It's where they shot the final seasons of Seinfeld. Okay, who is Simon Williams or Wonder Man in the comics? Wonder Man was introduced way back in Avengers number 9 in 1964. He was the son of a wealthy industrialist and brother to Erik Williams, but their company faced stiff competition from Stark Industries. Simon embezzled some some money to try to save the company, but he gets arrested. He gets bailed out by Amora the Enchantress, and Simon starts working for Baron Zemo, who wants to put Simon through an experiment to make him a supervillain to fight the Avengers. Zemo imbues Simon with ionic energy and names him Wonder Man. Zemo wants Simon to infiltrate the Avengers, but it doesn't work out, and Simon seems to die in the same issue he was introduced. But Hank Pym recorded his brainwaves, and issues after this, his brother Erik Williams becomes Grim Reaper and vows vengeance against the Avengers, but it turns out Simon is not dead, he was in a coma, and Ultron steals Simon's brainwaves from Hank Pym and uses them to create Vision. Simon gets revived in various stories like Avengers 131 by Kang the Conqueror to join the Legion of the Unliving of past dead villains. They break free of Kang's power and get sent back to their points in time. Grim Reaper revives Simon in another story, but then he gets revived permanently by the Living Laser, and Simon now has his own thoughts and moves to Hollywood to become a stuntman, and he founds the West Coast Avengers. So yeah, Simon Williams' comic history is pretty essential to how Vision is created. Though the MCU version of Vision had a different origin story, hey, we'll see if this show dips into the themes of AI that Ironheart touched on and actor performance capture in a way that could connect it to the Vision Quest series coming later this year. Now, WandaVision did drive many of us crazy by inserting an Easter egg of the Grim Reaper's helmet in the animated opening title of episode 2 in the floorboards of Wanda and Vision's home, but it never amounted to more than just an Easter egg. James Gunn originally planned to introduce Simon Williams to the MCU in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, played by Nathan Fillion, as an in-universe actor on movie posters outside the cinema in that Missouri town where Ego's goo was spreading, but any shot of those movie posters was removed from the final cut. Valentine's Day is coming up, and if you're worried that a box of chocolates is played out, then I've got good news. Tokyo Treat and Sakurako have curated snack boxes that are perfect for treating your special someone to a delightful night in. Tokyo Treat and Sakurako work together to give you two very different ways to experience Japan. Tokyo Treat is a modern selection of Japan's coolest and craziest treats with limited edition flavored snacks you usually can't get outside of Japan, like Japanese Kit Kats, potato chips, and ramen, and more. Sakurako focuses more on traditional snacks and flavors. They also support local snack makers. Both boxes come with cultural booklets that have descriptions of all the snacks inside, allergen information, and fun insights about Japanese culture connected to that month's theme. Every month, each box is a different theme. This month, Tokyo Treat is celebrating Valentine's Day, so you'll get the super sweet Valentine box. So here's a book with all the goodies that's in there. Oh, and oh my gosh, everything is sweet. Oh, it's a big old Valentine. It's packed with treats like Love-A-Lot chocolate bars, mini chocolate candy hearts, and oh, these strawberry shortcake Kit Kats. Oh, there's definitely a little tart strawberry in there. I love it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Uh-oh. I'll be my own Valentine. Now, Sakuro's box this month invites you to experience the quiet romance of Kyoto as winter gives way to spring. Inspired by the early plum blossoms and time-honored traditions, this month's box features matcha wagashi, rich chocolate confections, and seasonal treats meant to be shared, like this caramel bergamot Fujichi tea. Plus, every Sakurako box comes with a small household item like this month's vintage kimono cloth pouch. Ooh. Make your Valentine's Day a little sweeter with Tokyo Treat and Sakurako snacks and tea from Japan. Whether you're craving authentic Japanese flavors, looking to treat yourself, or searching for a thoughtful Valentine's gift for someone who loves Japan, you can check out their Valentine's offers in the link below or use code NEWROCKSTARS to get $5 off your first box. Big thanks to Tokyo Treat and Sakurako for sponsoring this video. What are Wonder Man's powers? So far in trailer footage and interviews for the series, it has been implied that Simon has super strength, enough to smash a kitchen island, super speed.
Are you gonna use super speed or what?
I'm gonna use my car, Trevor.
Does that mean you do or do not have super speed?
The ability to cause sonic vibrations in a drink glass, and the ability to create massive explosions. But I'm assuming the guy can do other things that we just haven't seen yet. We do see his eyes glowing purple or red in some trailer shots, and we see purple electricity zapping from his fingers. In the comics, Wonder Man's ionic radiation is said to have given him superhuman strength rivaling Thor. He does wallop Thor at one point. In this series, Simon begins working in Hollywood having already received his powers, so there's some other incident that we're going to see on the show. I doubt the version of Zemo played by Daniel Bruhl in Captain America Civil War and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier had anything to do with it in the MCU. So what is the importance of Wonder Man to the MCU? It's kind of hard to say. Wonder Man as a series was developed as a pitch from Andrew Guest and executive producer Destin Daniel Cretton in the tailwind of Shang-Chi in 2022, in that era when Bob Chapek was running Disney and pushed Disney's divisions to greenlight a lot of streaming series, an era that Bob Iger, returning as CEO, has scaled back. Around the time when She-Hulk was being marketed as an episodic workplace comedy and satire of dating life in Los Angeles, Wonder Man was being developed with a similar LA vibe, following a superhero trying to make it as a working actor. Most Disney Plus series at this point, especially ones developed in that era, just have a mixed track record as to their true connectivity to the MCU continuity overall. While Wanda Maximoff returned from WandaVision to Multiverse of Madness, Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau returned in the Marvels, and characters from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier returned in Brave New World and Thunderbolts, and Loki returned in Avengers Doomsday, Moon Knight and She-Hulk and Ironheart and Agatha All Along and Secret Invasion don't really seem to have futures in this franchise. But hey, there are Easter eggs in the show of Rogers the Musical billboards, and we could see Simon Williams in a future West Coast Avengers series, and Shang-Chi, and maybe Vision and Wanda if they ever return together. Also in the Hawkeye series, Kate Bishop mentioned an Aunt Moira Brandon who had an apartment that they crashed in, a very important name because in the comics, Moira Brandon was a woman whose mansion served as the headquarters of the West Coast Avengers. The pieces are all there, I just don't know if Marvel Television, if they're dumping episodes like this as a binge drop, is going to move forward with the West Coast Avengers series like that. However, there is the aforementioned world building of the DODC and how paranoid they seem to be over enhanced individuals that could turn into a human anti-mutant task force in the Mutant Saga, even if it doesn't get explicitly mentioned on this series. But then there was this line from a trailer.
Well, I've been to the void.
The Void? Which Void? The TVA dumping ground from the Loki series and Deadpool and Wolverine that we're all pretty sure Doctor Doom is gonna turn into Battleworld? Or the Sentry version of the Void's traumatic memory realm that you go to when he flattens you into a shadow? We did get some context for this line from a social post for Marvel showing Simon's script pages for the Wonder Man in-universe movie. These are called sides in an audition context. In this scripted scene, Wonder Man monologues about the Embera people, referring to a real-world indigenous tribe from Panama and Colombia. These are the folks who consider the Darien Gap to be their home turf, the most dangerous pass in the world, so they would be the experts on what direction a soul should turn. And the thing they say about a soul does remind us of Aubrey Plaza's take on death and Agatha All Along, and how she guides souls to the afterlife. This is all coming at an interesting time when we're getting these Doomsday teasers where Professor X and Magneto are talking about how death comes for us all, a line echoed from Lilia Calderou's Sicilian Maestra in Agatha episode 7, along with a specific music note. And it's coming when Shuri is talking about the afterlife in the 4th Doomsday teaser. But in the 2nd social post photo, we see how Simon changed the word hell to void. We don't know why he did that, but it is an interesting choice. Did he not want to attribute the idea of hell to that indigenous group that might not see the afterlife that way? Does he want to soften the language with the void instead of hell? This is all pretty rich considering in Deadpool and Wolverine, what we saw as the void was originally planned to be Ryan Reynolds' idea of development hell for forgotten and erased movie franchises. I'm just saying that in a year that will end with Doomsday, any mention of the void we have to be on high alert about. I will also say that Simon Williams does have a big moment in a hilarious fan-written script that New Rockstars is going to do a staged reading of at LA's UCB Theater on Friday, January 30th at 7 p.m., a week from tonight. We only have like a few tickets left. We're going to sell out maybe in the next hour, and we can announce one of our special guests, Christopher Sean, voice actor from Ultraman Rising, Star Wars Resistance, and Gotham Knights, and various other roles. If you don't live in LA, don't worry. You can still get a discounted live stream link to watch the show wherever you live 7 days after the show. And unlike in-person tickets, those tickets don't sell out. But anyway, there's your homework for Wonder Man. Oh, please don't beat me up and take my lunch money. Hey, we're gonna be doing your homework here on New Rockstars for every big title coming in 2026. Just wait till we get to the Odyssey. That's gonna be like actual academic homework. Comment down below with your thoughts, and a special thanks to one of our YouTube members, Paulo Bianca, for supporting us at the executive producer level. Big thanks to Studio Tech Brian Kim, New Rockstars editors Joshua Stephen Hurd and Abby Freel, and all of the supporting editors for their work on this video. Follow me at EA Voss. Subscribe to all the channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.